त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देवदेव। श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तिसुदेशिकेन्द्रं द्वैपायनं सूत्रकृतं मुनीन्द्रं श्रीशङ्करं भाष्यकृतं यतीन्द्रं मद्देशिकञ्चापि नमामि विद्यै। ॐ नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्मविद्या सम्प्रदायकर्तृभ्यो वंशऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः। सर्वोपप्लवरहितप्रज्ञानगणः प्रत्यगर्तो ब्रह्मैवाहमस्मि। ॐ प्रपन्नपारिजाताय स्तोत्रवेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः। Pranams everyone. So we are in the 16th chapter. We are doing the 16th chapter now. Daiva Asura Sampat Vibhaga Yoga. Bhagavan has enumerated already the Daiva Sampat qualities initially in the first three Slokas. And then he is now talking about the Asura Gunas and Asuras in general. In the Sloka number 7, Bhagavan basically said Asuras are people who do not understand the difference between dharma and adharma. Neither they have any purity, nor they have any acharam, which is religious discipline, and nor do they have any truthfulness in them. And then in Sloka 8 and 9, basically Bhagavan is explaining the Asura philosophy. What the Asuras think about this world, about the people, what is their philosophy of life. In Sloka 8, Bhagavan says, Te ahuhu, they say, as in the Asuras say, Jagat asatyam, apratishtam, anishwaram. So the world is without any truth, or the world does not have any people who speak the truth. The world is full of people who speak only lies. And the world is without any dharma. And the world does not have any Ishvara. And if the world is not sustained by dharma, what is their view of the world sustenance? They say the world is sustained by the desire alone, kama haitukam. And aparaspara sambhutam. Aparaspara sambhutam means the union of male and female. So this is their view of the world. And Bhagavan says in Sloka number 9, which we are doing now, basically having this view, by holding this view, the Asuras are lost spiritually. Nashtatmanaha, he says. We have done until that. Second line we have yet to do. We'll repeat the sloka. Shri Bhagavanu Vacha, Sloka 8. Shri Bhagavanu Vacha. Etam drishtimavashtabhya nashtatmanolpa buddhayah prabhavantyugra karmanah shayaya jagatahitaha. Avashtabhya means holding such view. Etam drishtim means view, such a view. Nashtatmanah, these people are lost spiritually. Who are these people? Bhagavan gives them an adjective. He says alpa buddhaya. They are people with alpa buddhi. They do not understand what is superior and what is inferior. They give value to the inferior things. I don't know whether I told this story in the last class. Basically, a king, he renounces his kingdom and becomes a monk, sannyasi. And he actually wanders in the forest. And after some time, when he is wandering in the forest, because he is a king and he had renounced everything, became a sannyasi, people from other kingdom and within the kingdom actually invite him. And they invite him, they value him, they give respects to him, and they are in awe of him. They actually they praise him, saying that how can you, being a king who has access to all the wealth, pleasures, everything, give up everything and become a monk, become a sannyasi? You are a great renunciate. And then the king or the sannyasi now actually says back, he tells the persons, in fact, I am not a bigger renunciate. You guys are a bigger renunciate, because I have sacrificed little small pleasures for ultimate happiness, infinite happiness. So I have renounced all these small little pleasures, alpa sukham, to go for and reach and attain paramartha sukham. Whereas you guys are not looking for paramartha sukham, you are actually willing to sacrifice that paramartha sukham and you want to remain in this alpa sukham. So tell me, who is a bigger renunciate? This is how the story goes. So here Bhagavan says, Nashtatmanaha alpa buddhayaha. The Asuras, they choose the inferior option. They are not able to discriminate between good and bad. So holding such a view, these indiscriminate people are lost spiritually. That is the first line. Next line, Bhagavan says, Prabhavantyugra karmanaha. Ugra karmanaha. Ugra karmanaha means people who are taking to cruel actions. People who are doing himsa. And why do people do himsa? Kama, because of desire. Whenever there is an obstacle to a desire, the desire manifests itself into anger. And anger, when it is expressed as himsa. Kaika, vachika, manasa, himsa. At all three levels. But there is also another reason why people take to cruel actions. One is desire, we saw, but there is also another reason for people taking to cruel actions. And that is the other side of the desire coin. As I said, if the desire is not fulfilled, it becomes anger. But if the desire gets fulfilled, it becomes lobam, greed. And greed is also a cause for doing himsa. So whether the desire gets fulfilled or not fulfilled, on both sides you have anger playing its part. In fact, in this, greed is very one of the important Asura gunas. Bhagavan will end this chapter saying that actually all Asura gunas can be brought under three main categories. We have seen about 10 or 8 or 10 Asura gunas so far. But all of them can be brought under three major gunas, Asura gunas. They are Kama, Krodha and Lobha. Desire, anger and greed. Lobha means basically greed, basically not willing to share things. And if somebody comes for asking for a share, then again Bhagavan says Ugra Karmanaha, they will do himsa. Just like Duryodhana was overcome with greed. He was not happy with what was his rightful share. He wanted everything for himself. And therefore he started resorting to himsa. So Ugra Karmana. So Krodha and Lobha are the main cause of Ugra Karmana. The root cause is, of course, for both of them is desire, Kama. So Prabhavanti, they become Ugra Karmana. Taking to cruel actions, Ugra Karmana, they become what? Shayaya Jagato Hitaha. Ahitaha Jagataha. That is how we have to split. Jagato hita means Jagataha ahitaha. Ahitaha Jagataha. They become enemies. Ahitaha means enemies. Kshatru. Jagataha. Jagat means world. So they become enemies of the world. And when we say world, it means here both the world as well as world as a place as well as world as in the people of the world. So they will damage both the environment as well as the lives of people. So an Asura, because of their selfish nature, because of the nature where they only care about themselves, they don't mind damaging the environment or other people's lives. So both physical environment as well as physiological environment, they don't mind creating problems there. So typically they don't keep the streets clean, they don't keep their rivers clean, they do damage to the environment also. Kshayaya. Kshayaya means destruction. So they become enemies of the world for its destruction. World destruction. Jagataha Kshayaya. So all their acts that they do are only for destruction. An Asura is like a cancerous cell. They destroy the body which holds them and destroy themselves also along with that. So by going against Dharma, they become enemies of the world and destroy the world. So we know, terrorists, all these Naxalites all come under this category where they are lost spiritually, and because of greed and anger coming from the root cause of desire, they become enemies of the world and destroy it. So this is the Asura philosophy. Sloka number 9. Now in Sloka number 10, Bhagavan gives further explanation on of Asura Sampat. We will see that. More qualities of Asuras. Sloka 10. Shri Bhagavanuvacham Kamamashritya dushpuram Dambamanamadhanvitaha Mohat grihitva satgrahan Pravartante shushivrataha Kamamashritya dushpuram Dambamanamadhanvitaha Mohat grihitva satgrahan Pravartante shushivrataha. So in this sloka, Bhagavan is basically detailing people with Asura Sampat. We saw that their main philosophy is desire. We saw that in sloka number 8, that the world, their idea of world itself is, the world is caused by or driven by desire. So their main philosophy is desire. And what Bhagavan says is, they will not feel like ending their desire. They don't have an end point to their desires. And for them, desires need to be fulfilled. We also have desires. And one question that will come to our mind is, will we be happy after fulfilling our desire? When I get a desire, will I be happy once the desire gets fulfilled? We can keep that question in mind. We will see that slowly. Anyway, now coming back to this, Bhagavan says in this sloka, whenever we get in desires, we get multiple desires. We do not get one desire, we do not get two, countless desires we get. And the problem is, not all desires can be fulfilled. Nobody in this world can have all their desires fulfilled. There is nobody. Even Bhagavan, if he takes an avatara, he will, and if he has any desires, not all his desires will be fulfilled. So we'll see here now in the sloka, kamama shritya dushpuram, kamam, desire, dushpuram, dushpuram means insatiable, insatiable desire. Ashritaya, ashritya, ashritya, ashritya means taking to. So taking to insatiable desires, they take to insatiable desires. That is what Bhagavan talks about Asuras here. So we can interpret this in two ways. Taking to insatiable desires. The first interpretation is the Asuras will never be able to fulfill all their desires, because even if you fulfill one desire, they will get another desire. Even before this desire is fulfilled, another desire crops up, and therefore it is insatiable. They will not be in a position where they say all my desires are fulfilled. That is one interpretation. The second interpretation is, we can say that their desires that they have are not practical to fulfill. They may be even against nature, and therefore those desires remain unfulfilled. So this taking to insatiable desires can be interpreted in both ways. Fulfilling all the desires is not possible at all. In fact, when we say by fulfilling a desire, will we be actually getting contentment out of it? So somebody says, when I actually fulfill my desire, I become happy. Happy is one thing, but will I be contented by it? That is a different question. And Shastras basically gives an analogy in terms of fulfilling a desire. If someone says, I want to actually satisfy or gratify my desire by fulfilling it, then Shastra says it is as good as pouring oil into a fire to put that fire out. It is as good as pouring oil onto a fire to put the fire out. That is the equivalent for somebody to say, I am actually satisfying my desire, or I want to get contentment, and to get contentment, I want to satisfy my desire. I want to fulfill my desire. In other words, it will not happen, basically. So this is what Bhagavan says, kamamashritya dushpuram. They are taking to insatiable desires, So what sort of people they are? How will they be by taking to insatiable desire? Bhagavan further describes them, damba mana madhanvitaha. They are full of dambam. Dambam, mana, madam. Damba mana madhanvita. So dambam means pretension. Pretensions means giving self-importance, bragging, boasting. Talking high of oneself. There are one set of people who brag, and they want to brag, want to publicize even the dharma karyas they do. And then there is another set of people who boast, even though they may not have done anything great or anything they have worthwhile. In spite of that, they will brag and boast. So one is people who does dharma karya and boast, That is wrong. That is also wrong. And another set of people, they may not have done anything worthwhile, but they still boast about themselves. And here Adi Shankaracharya, he talks about the second set of people. Because the first set of people will not come under Asura Sampati. So we are talking about the second set of people. These people will follow adharma, but will posture as if they are following dharma. So they show off in terms of words, body language, whatever, and show off that they are dharmika purusha. That is called as damba here. Then manam. Dambam is basically expressing that, boasting about oneself. Mana is basically thinking high of oneself, having this superiority complex. We have already seen this. Amanitvam, adambitvam. In 13th chapter, we saw that first sloka. Manam. There is pujyatya bhavam, thinking high of oneself. Again, it is not that this person has got some good character or value to think high of oneself. But even without this, even without any good quality, even without any good character, this person thinks high of oneself. This is mana. Just because they are in a high powerful position, or just because they have some, they have achieved, they have got something out of luck, or by giving money, attaining some social status, they think high of oneself. So that is called as mana. Then madha. Madha means madam, garva, the pride that one has, the vanity, we say. So some people feel proud about having the knowledge, one's knowledge. I mean, I know this thing, I have done my PhD, I have studied masters, I have done from this college, whatever. They would have worked hard to gain that knowledge, no doubt about that, but they will also have this feeling of pride in them, vanity in them. So this is, again, we are not talking about them now. Then there are others who have got their degrees either through luck or through some bit of unfair means. They wouldn't even have that knowledge, but they may have got into that position through some recommendation or whatever. Or they could have cheated in their exam and got results. And although they have done all these things, they will still have this pride that I have got this degree, I have got this education, I have studied in this college, or I have done that particular course, whatever. So that madam, we are talking about that second part here. So madam. Madan vitaha. Madan vitaha. Anvitaha. Anvitaha means people with. So anvitaha means people with. People with what? Dambam, manam, madam. So damba, mana, madan, anvitaha. Mada anvitaha. People with pretensions, with superiority complex, with pride. So these are the Asura guna again. Then coming to the second line, Bhagavan says, Mohad grihitva sadgrahan pravartanteshu shibrataha. Grihitva. Grihitva means holding again. Grihitva. That's where the word grahanam all come from. The root. Grihini also comes from there. Holding the house, holding the family. Grihitva means holding. What are they holding? Asat grahan. Asat grahan. Asat means wrong. Sat means right or truth. Asat means wrong. Grahan. Grahan here means views. They have wrong views. they have wrong judgment, they have wrong philosophy. So holding wrong views, wrong judgment, wrong philosophy, and Bhagavan says, why are they holding these wrong views? Mohad. They do that because due to delusion. Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya. That Moha means delusion. Due to that delusion, they will be holding tightly to the wrong views, and wrong philosophy and wrong judgment. Wrong philosophy here means what? The wrong philosophy that they have is cheating others is okay, having hatred on others is okay, seeking revenge is okay, and they are determined in that. They are holding tightly to it. Mohat grihitva sadgrahan, asadgrahan. This is with regards to the people that they have. So with regards to the people, they have all these wrong views. But not only to the people. With regards to the world also, they have wrong views. Pravartante shushivrataha. Pravartante. They act. See, the problem is, many a time a thought comes into our mind. Not all thoughts are good thoughts. Because of our samskaras, of our previous janmas and previous karmas, there could be some thoughts that could be negative, bad, incorrect, whatever. The thought can come. But then we have to be aware and ensure that we do not act on it. And that is where our discrimination comes into place. The Viveka Buddhi is important. Here, the problem with Asuras is Pravartante. They act. Not only they get these wrong, they have these wrong views, wrong judgment, they act on it also. And the thing is, when we have these emotions, then the intellect tries to convince that the emotions are wrong. But if the emotions overpower the intellect, that is when we say mohad, delusion. When emotions overpower our rational thinking, that is called as moham. Then we act on that wrong judgment. So, pravartante, these asuras, they act. And our emotion also, suppose if we have made a judgment on something, then the emotions will try to follow the judgment. For example, if I have this view that this person is a bad person, is not a good man, this person is not a good man. If I have this judgment, my intellect has made this judgment that this person is not a good person, then my emotions will start following it. My emotions will start saying, okay, I should dislike this person. So the emotions will also follow the intellect at that point of time. And if the intellect has decided that this person is a nice person, is a good man, then my emotions will be one of love. So intellect judging, emotions follow. And generally our emotions will generally follow based on whatever knowledge or intellect that we have gained. So our emotions generally follow the knowledge or the intellect that we have gained. That's why we say, read good books. The reading good books will actually make our intellect sharper, purer, sharper and cleaner and purer. And therefore our emotions will also start following the intellect. So this is very subtle, but we have to note this important. Knowledge that we gain is very important. Because only through right knowledge we will be able to gain right emotions. The intellect follows the the emotions follow the intellect. So right knowledge is very important. Only then we will have right thoughts. And generally, when we act impulsively, it is better that we act based on the right thoughts than on the wrong thoughts. Because if we are a person who acts impulsively with whatever thought that comes into our mind, then it is better that our thoughts are the right thoughts. So our thought process follows the intellect, and our actions follow the thoughts. So Bhagavan here says moham, delusion. This is a fault that happens in the intellectual faculty. Moham is a dosha, is a fault in the intellect, because of which they act wrong. Pravartante. And then the next word is ashuchi vrataha. Ashuchi vrataha. Vrata, we all know. Vrata, we have many kinds of vrata. Mauna vrata, ahara vrata, all those things. Vrata means a kind of a discipline that we take. What does the Asuras do? They also undertake vratas. But what kind of vrata they take? Ashuchi. Shuchi means pure. Shaucham, we know. Shuchi comes from that. Shuchi means pure. Ashuchi means impure. So they take impure vratas. So generally we thought always that vrata means only for good. But now we come to know that vrata can be both pure as well as impure. Suppose somebody has decided that I will not take shower for the next 10 days. That is also a vrata. That is a ashuchi vrata. Or somebody has decided that I will not brush my teeth for the next 1 week. Ashuchi vrata. But what the ashuchi vrata that Bhagavan is talking about here is even worse. It is not these, not taking shower or not brushing teeth. Some asuras, some people undertake yajna to bring down people. They invoke negative forces. They resort to black magic. So those are all ashuchi vrata. Some people, there are some pujas they do in the masana, the crematorial ground. And some people do some penance also. They do some penance until that process gets over. They have a vrata. But of course nowadays these things have come down. But in those days there were a lot of these things. This negative energy, black magic and all those things. So that is called as ashuchi vrataha. And these asuras pray to dushta devatas. Dushta devatas and their dravyam, the offering to these kind of dushta devatas will also be something like alcohol, meat, all those things. And their method of prayer. Their method of prayer will also be something like, doing some bali, doing some himsa to something. A goat being sacrificed or something like that. And their sankalpam will also be impure. As in the desire is also not the right desire. It is either to get something through unfair means, or to destroy someone, or to bring down someone, or to pray for disease for somebody. All these things, all these sankalpas are all negative, bad sankalpas. So these are called as ashuchi vrataha. So Bhagavan is explaining the asuras in this sloka. I'll just again summarize. Kamam ashritya dushpuram dambamana madanvitaha mohat grihitvat sadgrahan pravartante shushibrataha. Basically, these people taking to insatiable desire, they are full of pretensions and vanity and haughtiness. And holding these wrong views, due to delusion, they act with impure resolve. They act with impure resolve. They have all this ashuchi vrataha. This is sloka number 10. Now we'll go to the sloka 11. Now sloka 11 and 12 we'll do it together. And Bhagavan basically here talks about or describes the mind of such people who live in this manner. So he's going to go a little deeper into how their mind works and Asura's mind works. Sloka 11. Shri Bhagavan uvacha Chinta maparimeyam cha pralayantam upashritaha kamopaboga paramaha etavyaditi nishchitaha asha pashashatair buddhaha kamakrodha parayanaha ihante kama bhogartam anyayenartha sanchayan chintamaparimeyaam cha pralayantamupashritaha kamopaboga paramaha etavadati nishchitaha asha pashashatair buddhaha kamakrodha parayanaha ihante kama bhogartam anyanenartha sanchayan. So Bhagavan here says people with evil intentions. If a person has negative intention, has got evil intention, bad intention, they will not have a calm mind. They will not be able to sleep peacefully. They will not be able to do their things peacefully. They will not have a calm mind. They might have, remember as I said in the other class, do not equate punyam with all these name, fame, power, money, position and all those things. Because here Bhagavan says they may have name, they may have money, they may have fame, they may have power, they may have position, they may even have people around them. So much so that there could be people around who could feel jealous about these people. But people around them will not know what is running in their mind, what is running in this Asura's mind. And Bhagavan says their mind will not be calm. Their mind will be always in some sort of grief. There will always be some discontentment. That is what Bhagavan says here. Let's go to the sloka. So in the first line Bhagavan says upashritaha. Upashritaha means given to. Given to. What are they given to? First word. Next, first word is chintam. Upashrita is the last word in the first line. So first we take that given to. Then the first word is chintam. Chintam means mental worry. Sorrow. You can say anxiety. You can say state of confusion. The mind is always restless. That is called as chintam. Chintam. So this mental worry. And Bhagavan says how much worry they will have. A little bit of worry. Bhagavan says aparimeyam. Aparimeyam means deep. Parimeya means measurable. Parimeya means measurable. Aparimeya means immeasurable, innumerous, deep worry, deep sorrow, deep anxiety, immeasurable sorrow, innumerous worries. Then he says, okay, how long will this worry will be there? Will it be for a short while? Okay, for a short while I am having this worry, then it will go away. Bhagavan says, pralayantam. Pralayantam. Until death. Lifelong. Pralayam here means, pralayam normally we will use it for creation and basically destruction. When the yuga comes to a Chaturyuga comes to a close, there will say there will be a pralayam. Now here pralayam means for that person which is death. So until death, which means lifelong. So these people will be given to deep anxiety, immeasurable sorrow, innumerous worries, and until death, lifelong. So this is the gift they get because of their character. Remember, being adharmic can give money, can give fame, can give power, can give position. Adharma is a easy route to all these things. But adharma will never give us a calm mind. Adharma will never give us a happy mind. When discussing this, some Sampradaya Gurus give further explanation here. They ask a question, Chintam, what do these people suffer from? After all, they have money. After all, they have power, position, people around them. What do these people suffer from? Where do they get this anxiety? And the Sampradaya Gurus answer themselves. They say, Yoga Kshemam. Yoga means to acquire things, material things. Yoga. LIC's, LIC, Life Insurance Corporation of India, has got this Yoga Kshemam Vahamyaham. That is their actual normal tagline. Yoga means to acquire things. And Kshemam means whatever has been acquired, to retain it, to protect it. So Yoga means to acquire material things. Kshemaha means to protect those things that I acquire. This Yoga Kshemam, there is also another sloka which comes in here in chapter 9 also. In Bhagavad Gita, Vishnu Sahasranam also we say, Ananyas Chintayanto mam yejana paryupasate tesham nityavi yuktanam yoga kshemam vahamyaham. Same meaning only. Acquiring things, protecting things. Acquiring things that I want to acquire, protecting things what I have acquired. So these Asuras have this problem of anxiety on Yoga Kshema. They will be constantly thinking of bank accounts, what is my wealth portfolio, what is my stock portfolio, how is it doing, how is the property market doing, what will happen, where are my investments. The mind will be fully active on what to acquire. Should I purchase this stock today, tomorrow? Should I sell it? Should I buy that property, sell this property? Where can I invest? Always that thought only. And they do not trust others also. Asuras do not trust others easily. So that is why until their death, they will be constantly worrying only about this. For others, people around them, they may think, no, look at this person, he has got so much money. He is so happy. He need not worry about his generation, next generation, the generation after next. But the reality will be different because we do not go in understand their minds. Bhagavan says their mind will be full of worry. See, sorrow or worry, everybody gets. Even that sorrow or worry can be divided into two. One sort of sorrow or worry can be what Arjuna got. So Arjuna's sorrow or worry is different. Then Duryodhana also got a sorrow or worry. That is different. Arjuna's sorrow or worry is basically a kind of a Daiva Sampat worry. That is a yoga. He was confused. He wanted to know the truth, and there is an anxiety that I don't know the truth. I have to know the truth, and then the mind is churned. So the mind gets churned during the time until I am able to understand the truth. So that is one sort of worry. Then Duryodhana's worry is a self-inflicted worry. It is self-inflicted. I don't trust people, therefore I have worry. I have doubts on people around me. I have doubts on whether I will be able to acquire more or not. I have doubts on whether I will be able to retain whatever I have, my possessions. So this worry is not about finding the truth. This worry is a one which will actually drag us further into abyss, further deep into samsara. So here Bhagavan is not talking about the sadhaka's worry. Here he is talking about the Asura's confusion, Asura's sorrow. We could also have some kind of confusion and sorrow, but if we have to understand if it is a sadhaka sort of confusion or worry, that is different. So anyway, so here chintam aparimayam cha pralayantam upashritaha. So given to deep and lifelong anxiety. Now in the second line, Bhagavan says, what are their goals in life? What are the goals that the Asuras have? Kamopabhoga paramaha. Paramaha. Paramaha means highest goal. What is their highest goal? So everybody has got a highest goal. Our highest goal is moksha. That's why we are in this class. That is our highest goal. For them, kama, desires, sensual desires. Where can I get good food? Where can I go to a nice holiday? What clothes can I wear? Where can I listen to good music? All sensual desires. Kamopabhogaha. Upabhoga. Desire, sense objects, fulfillment, enjoyment, upabhogaha. Paramaha. Their highest goal is to fulfill sensory pleasures only. That is their only goal, highest goal. Okay, that may be their highest goal. Do they have any other goal? The last part, Bhagavan says, Eta vadati nishchitaha. No, they don't have. They have decided. Nishchitaha. They have decided. Etavati iti. Iti etavat. That this much is alone. That life is this much alone. Life is about fulfilling sensory desires, sensory objects only, or fulfilling sensory pleasures only. Khavo, piyo, maja karo. Life is about artha kama only, about money, power, position, wealth, enjoyment only. And here Bhagavan says kama alone is purushartha, not even artha. Artha is a means for them. Kama is the purushartha. And for them, dharma moksha is not needed. Nishchitaha. They have decided. That's why we cannot have any discussions with them. See, only if somebody has got some amount of doubt or an open mind, we can discuss, debate with them. I'm not talking about arguments. But here these people are nishchitaha. They are decided, this is how it is. The life is about this only. If someone sees a snake on a rope and they are very convinced that it is only a snake, what can we say? We can only say, okay, run away. That's all. They are very clear in their goals of life. And this is not an ordinary goal. They are paramaha, the highest goal. So here in this sloka, Bhagavan says, Asuri Sampat's mind will always be in constant confusion, filled with anxiety, and not just temporarily until their death. This is important for us to know, because we think success is about acquiring objects. Success is about how many properties this person has, how many cars, sort of car is he driving, what sort of jewelry they have, what sort of clothes they wear, where do they go for holiday. These are the measures of success that we have. And we think that the person who has acquired the most is the most successful person. And we all want to emulate that person. We wish to be like them. And Asuras might have, I'm not saying all rich people are Asuras, but I am saying Asuras might also have this name, fame, money, power, position. If you look at many of the politicians in India, they have name, fame, power, position, people, everything. But are they really good people? Questionable. And for them, Bhagavan says, for them, their mind is not calm. They are in a state of constant grief. Victory in life is not what we achieve out in this world. Victory in life is how much we have control on our mind. What we have achieved in our mind is the real victory. If we understand this, we will come to know what is success, what is failure. We also will come to know what should be the goal and what should not be the goal. So this is important. So anyway, Bhagavan continues in the 12th sloka. He further goes into their mind. He says, Asha Pasha Shatair Buddhaha. Asha Pasha. Before that, Buddhaha. Baddhaha. Asha Pasha Shatair Baddhaha. Baddhaha means bound. Bandham, we say. Baddhaha means bound. Who are bound? The Asura Sampat people. Bound with what? Asha Pasha Shatair. Pasha means string. Ashaha means expectations. Shatair means, we know Shataha, Shatanam, Purusha, Shatair. Shatanam means hundreds. Shataha. You've seen in the Hindi commentary of cricket also. Tamil also we say Satam. Satam means 100. Shatair, hundreds. Asha Pasha Shatair. They have expectations. So they are bound by strings. What strings? Pasha. Pasha means strings. Strings of what? Hundreds of expectations. In Sanskritam, we have two words, Asha, Pratiksha. Asha and Pratiksha both means expectations. Asha means expecting something, but we do not know how it is going to be. For example, if I find a treasure or we get answers right for all the 21 questions and become a millionaire, karodpati, or we get a lottery without any effort. That is ashaha. Then pratiksha means expecting something or someone, and I know what is it going to be. I clearly know. And here I would have made an effort to get that. So whenever I write an exam and I wait for a result, it is pratiksha. Ashaha means it is generally a wish. I wish I was a millionaire. I wish I will get the lottery. That is ashaha. Now, Bhagavan uses the word ashaha here. So he says, Asuras are not bound by just one expectation. They have hundreds of expectations from this world, from the people around them, from their businesses, from their jobs, from whatever. And they expect this without putting any effort. They expect things to happen on their own. And if the expectation doesn't happen according to their requirement, what will happen? Kama krodha. Bhagavan says from desire it comes to anger. Kama krodha parayanaha. Parayanaha. Given to, or it will lead to. So expectations give rise to desire, and desires, if it is not fulfilled, becomes anger. That is what Bhagavan says in the first line. In the second line, what to say? Bhagavan talks about what do they seek? What do these Asuras seek? Ihante kama bhogartam. Kama bhogartam means enjoyment of sense objects. Ihante, they seek enjoyment of sense objects. That is their objective. And how do they get this enjoyment? Artha sanchayan. Artha sanchayan means they hoard wealth. They hoard wealth, and through that they want to seek enjoyment. And how do they hoard wealth? Whether they do it dharmically, whether they do it with nyaya. Bhagavan says, anyayena. They do it with unrighteous means. They don't have any nyaya. They don't have no dharmic way. Nyaya means dharmic. Anyayena means going against dharma. Shankaracharya basically calls these people as thieves. They steal others' things. Not physical stealing. Not you don't become a thief only by stealing something physically. Anything that I possess that rightfully belongs to another person, or that does not belong to me, or I have got it through unlawful means, through by bribery or anything, it is called I am a thief. Shankaracharya calls these people as thieves. So Asura who is trying to grab others' things, and it need not be just money. Suppose we give the helper less salary and we try to get more work out of it. That means we are stealing their hard work. That is also stealing. Or we could be stealing other people's ideas, calling it our own, their intelligence, their knowledge, and trying to project to others in the office or in the corporate world as our own. That is also stealing. Or we try to bargain with people, on the roadside, trying to gain something out of the transaction by giving less to what should rightfully belong to them. That is also considered stealing. And then we talk about morality, and we talk about the company not paying us properly, we are not being rightfully paid by this company. We will have hundreds of complaints, but when we actually transact in the other world, we do not actually reflect on these things. So this is anyayena, and we will get shame, bad name, disgrace, enmity, all because of this. This is the effect of stealing from others. And not only that, Bhagavan says, remember, whenever we do this, we get chinta. We do not get a calm mind. The chinta, the calm mind, it could be because of this fear, enmity also, this vengeance also, or this people talking bad about me, infamy, or just by having papa. If we are carrying some papa, that papa also can create mental worry for us. And I'll finish this sloka quickly. Ihante anyayena artha sanchayan. They soak hoards of wealth by unrighteous means. And why do they do this? Bhagavan says, kama bhogartam. Kama bhogartam. To fulfill and satisfy their sensory pleasures, for the enjoyment of sense objects. And why do they want to seek pleasure? They think it will give them happiness. But will they really have happiness? Bhagavan says, chintam, pralayantam, until their death, lifelong. Aparimeyam chintam, pralayantam, until their end of life. So here the takeaway is, anything we get by adharmic means, it will only lead us to sorrow and disease, and it will not give us a calm mind. So this is the sloka number 10. We have finished sloka number 12. Now next class we will do the other sloka from sloka number 13 onwards. Any questions or comments? Okay. If not, we'll meet again in the next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Swasti Prajabhya Paripalayantam Nyayena Margena Mahimeshaha. Gobrahmanebhyo Shubhamastu Nityam Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha.
Hari Om Bhad.
Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Hari Om. Hari Om.
Hari Om.